dream wrapped us in fire. The NFT in our diving deep into projects. He's the crypto energizer. From meme coins to tokens, he's got all the intel. Web3 wizardry will show you where to excel. He's got the insights like a digital magician, unveiling secrets of the blockchain with precision.
Good morning, Mega GM Slam Nation. Welcome back to the show, the Friday show, a little different Friday show. I'm a little bummed. We're not doing the normal Friday thing with my good friend Katz. But, you know, we'll get back into the swing of things with that next week. Dude, hell of a show yesterday. I just figured Friday, just we're going to take this a little more, you know, normal, more can you get more casual than what we normally do? I don't know, but boy, you know what it is? It's the amount of prep that went into that awesome show is it's left me pretty unplugged this week, you know, from the markets and the news and like the happenings out there. And so, yeah, I just didn't think I could do that kind of show justice today and be able to talk about the prediction market stuff and get the spaces going and all that stuff. And God, I hate excuses, but it just felt like the right decision here for today. So today, Casual Friday, and we'll still do our thing here. But real quick, some words for you guys. By the way, Choina, good morning, man. Tickles, wow. Great to see you here, man. Real nice to see you, dude. Anybody who doesn't know, you guys know Henry the Grape is my brother. Well, Tickle Snarf is my brother, too. We're talking like IRL, my real brother. Tickle's the older brother. In case you didn't know, now you know. DK, good morning, man. Sir Billy, good morning. Cutie GMs. Again, Katz, you're the best, dude. Appreciate you a ton. Like for so many reasons, man. Just like you, especially as a supporter, but a friend and all that. I appreciate you so much, man. Hey, good stuff, dude. Good stuff. English had a ranking for the brothers, best to worst. I get the worst brother tag. That's me. It ain't you, man. Yeah, I'm looking forward to talking about yesterday a bit. I'm probably going to save some of those thoughts for tomorrow, you know, like weekend stream when I can get a lot more real, but I'll definitely talk about it today. You know, it's kind of interesting though, Choina. Breakout, I think went really well, but that's more from you guys. I'm curious what you guys thought, you know, if you were able to tune in and whether it's the whole thing or parts of it or whatever. I'm curious how you thought it went. I thought it was pretty damn good. You know, like I thought it was pretty damn good. What's up, Mike? Quad witching, is this the like is this all these expirings today? So I'm going to take the show from yesterday, 12 hours long. I'm going to end up chopping it up, and what I'm going to do is for each of the guests that were on, I'm going to email them out. Katz, give your thoughts, dude. Katz, give your thoughts. But I'm going to take each of those interviews and I'm going to send them to, if they want, here's what I did. I emailed all the guests and I said, if you want your segment sent to you, let me know. And I got one reply back, so I'll send them that. Otherwise, I'm going to clip them out. I'm going to use them, right? I'll tweet out the individual segments. But if I want to thank first the guests who came on. We had just, you guys know, the crazy lineup of guests yesterday. Actually, let me tweet this out real quick. But crazy lineup of guests, and, you know, I kind of have some favorites from it, but that wouldn't be me saying that some of them I didn't like or weren't every bit as good. I thought all the guests that came on, like, brought it. Everybody I talked to yesterday, I'm a fan of, and I'm impressed by them, and I'm impressed by what they're building, and they all came, and they were great to talk to. I didn't have any of the, none of those chats, I don't like calling them interviews, none of those discussions were, like, uncomfortable. You know, like they were all really good conversations. Now, like some of those guests were really special to me. Like, how do you get to chat with Yatsu and not say that's one of the most special things, you could ever do? And to me, that was that. Like, Yat was incredible. Yeah, it was incredible. Like, for me, that was like a dream in Web3 was to get a chance to talk to Yatsu. I got to tick that off, but I hope that's not a one and done. I would love to chat with him more. I'd love to go deeper into the the NFT talk with Yatsu. Come on. That would be amazing. And I love chatting with I think it's Casper from Mythical. I thought was awesome too. I really, really like that guy and what they're building. And I love talking with David from Base and just it was real to me. It was really special. I love talking with X Factor. X Factor. We've chatted with him on Spaces. Thank you to Katz for making the connection. And I could tell I liked him. And then it's always different when you're face to face with somebody. And so chatting with X Factor face to face, I'm like, I know I would be friends with this guy. I like him. I like X Factor a lot. He was super cool. Luke, all right, Luke. I'm gonna forget some stuff, and then as we mention it, Luke is a special guy. I love Luke. I miss Luke. I miss Luke. And we worked with Luke for so long, right? We've had this very close relationship with Crypto Slam and Dapper Labs and Flow for years. They were one of our earliest supporters, right? We had been tracking NBA Top Shot for years and years and years. So we've known Luke and been close to him, and he's a gem of a human. He's just great. X Factor was awesome. I enjoyed the chat with Say, although I didn't feel any energy there. I'll say that I didn't feel like there was any. It definitely wasn't D-Jenny. It was definitely more professional and that kind of thing. And also I liked him too. It was great. But Luke is a special dude. I'll just say this, Cats. And behind the scenes I can say more. But I very specifically didn't look at questions during Base because look, they're very corporate. Base is very, very corporate. You know what I mean? Like if you're talking or thinking about Base, do not think of Base as like a D-Gen thing, as like one of us. And they are, like us. They trade and they live and breathe this space, but they're corporate. And there's a lot of things I could not ask, or I knew what was on topic and what was not. So I knew I wasn't going to be okay. Here's how it is. If I fired off random questions from the chat, I think at that point I risk him never coming back, right? And I get it. It's fair. They don't want to be caught, not having their answers like really locked in, really dialed in. They don't want to be caught not being on message. And I thought it was a great chat because he answered the stuff I wanted to hear. I forget what your question was, Katz. Put it here. I'll see. But you and I can chat after too. Hoods, good morning, man. It's good to see you, sir. Benny, if I didn't say GM, man. Real quick, I want to put this on the radar. Galavis, who's been, he's been a buddy for a while now, has his collection live on FX Hash right now. So I told him, like, just to support, I want to make sure that I put that on people's radar. He's got his collection minting on FX Hash. It's a base collection. If you're, into art, interested in art, want to support, a friend, then we'll put that there. And shout out to him. I hope it does well. I really, really do. Yeah. So, Katz, it was a legit question, right? But because I gave him the list of questions and they're, approved, whatever, that wasn't on there. So I just told him I wouldn't ask anything outside the questions that we had. And I just wanted to respect that. Even if he might have answered it. I even have a problem with Base App, Katz. Right? With Base App, when I go and register my name on Base App, well, I have a base like ENS or whatever, right? I have huda.base.eth. And then I can't register that on Base App. It says it's taken. So I had to take something else entirely, which I would have asked him that too. I was curious, but I'm like, no, I'm going to stick to what I said I'd do. Just ask the questions I had, sent them. So GM Gravity. So yeah, man, what a show. Okay. All together. And I hope, I assume numbers are going to go up a bit, but altogether we're at 13,000 views on the show, which unfortunately the show got split on X. X has a glitch where after a certain amount of time, it actually like stops showing in like the feed. So if you like retweet, the show, the main tweet, people will still see it. No problem there. But as far as it being listed, like in the displays of shows, it stops showing up. And that was actually during Yatsu. Like while Yatsu was on, it stopped showing up. So as soon as Yat left, I ended the X stream and then I fired it back up with a fresh one. And right, so now the show's split. So I have 2 places to check. But I mean, considering this market, considering, crypto Twitter and how slow it is, I would say 13,000 views is not bad. I do think that's our most viewed show. I think it's the most viewed show. And like right back in the day, maybe Paulie on a stream was maybe bigger. I think that had like 20,000 views or something. But for a Crypto Slam show in this market, in these conditions, 13,000 views, I think is pretty good considering we're not even, 24 hours past, the end of the show. So I'm going to take it. I'm going to chop up each section. I'm going to work on clips if I can. I'm not a clip guy. I'm not good at it, but if I can get some clips, great. Otherwise, just the whole thing, just the individual segments will do without too much clipping, of like shorts, like actual shorts. Okay. All that said, and we'll keep talking about this for a bit because we can maybe touch on each part, but my biggest thank you is to you guys. And I mean it. I really, really mean that. Like, especially you guys who tune in and whether that's, a lot of you have been watching from like day one when I started making videos and I had no audience other than a couple of you guys. And then slowly, we got some growth with it, which is just cool. Never expected anything, but slowly some growth and then organically just more growth, and which has been cool. Some of you guys were there the entire way. And you guys know who you are. It's basically the crew, really the founding idiots crew, especially. It's you guys. And then every bit as much anybody who found the show, and found this new like kind of home base, the way we start our morning every morning. It's you guys too, every bit as much. And it's even guys who tune in when you can, right? Maybe it's once a week, maybe it's once every couple of weeks, maybe it's a few times a week, but it's all of you guys who tune in and show up and watch and engage and support. And also I'll say this, I know there's hundreds of you guys who actually tune in and we never hear from you. We don't see you in the chat, but I get DMs. I do. I get DMs from people like encouraging messages and people who say, I love the show. I've been watching for years, whatever. And I'm like, dude, I didn't know. I never saw you before. I didn't know the name. And I think that's so cool that there's so many people out there who do tune in and watch and support. And so again, it's a thanks to you guys for being here and being a part of the thing. And I say it a lot, but you guys are my co-host. You are. I would be really uncomfortable here doing this stuff. I'm very introverted. Without you guys who are here regularly, it'd be real weird. There we go, Kit. Kit, that's awesome. I appreciate you. Like, that's so cool. And it means a lot. It really does mean a lot. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys for tuning in. And for you guys who like shared the show and stuff. And what's so weird is like, we're all friends now, which is awesome. This is not a thing that bothers me, but it's something I notice is I have friends out there, even some people I'm pretty close with that didn't engage, didn't share, anything like that. And that's okay. I have no expectations. But some of that, there's the one time you would hope for that support and it doesn't come. That motivates me. You know what? That motivates me this is how I think about it. You need to make it even bigger and better. It needs to be so good that they have to share it, that it's so big that they want to share it, not just as a favor, but because it's the thing. It's the event that everybody's talking about. Make them feel like proud enough to share it. So that motivates me. That definitely drives me. And then I also have a lot of projects I've reached out to who I've supported for a long time who didn't come on the show, and that's okay. I know everybody's busy, lots going on. Nobody owes me anything. And so what I'm saying right now is not a knock on them per se, but there's a little something where I wish this space was a little more PvE. I wish a little more giving, and I think we're plenty giving here, but I wish a little more giving, as in 10 minutes of your time for a thing that I want to do to make you look not make you look better because you look great on your own, but I'd love to show you off. I'd love to talk to you. But I'd love to show you off and have you part of a thing. And the thing I think that matters. I would love to see more of these projects actually getting involved. So the people who did join, I just got to say, like, thank you. Like, the people who did join, Animoca and Yatsu, they didn't have to join. I appreciate the hell of them that they did. The same with Arbus. The fact that, like, some of these guys have been always willing to join, always. Like, like, they don't even care what it looks like. The fact that, like, me or Crypto Slam are doing a thing and they're just always down, that means so much. So that's Arbus. Big Will, thank you to that guy who doesn't have to take time out of his busy day to come on. Awesome to have him on. I had a great chat with him. I love Big Will. Cool Cats, who's become like a newer friend. Like, appreciate them too. Hey, what's up, man? What are we talking? Okay, so real quick, we're doing a quick review of our marathon show from yesterday where we had just the biggest names in the industry join. 12-hour stream we did yesterday. So we're just doing a quick recap of that, and then we're going to talk some market stuff, some AI, some NFTs. But again, Yatsu from Animoca coming on yesterday, Base coming on yesterday, Yahoo Finance came on the show yesterday. Like, those guys didn't have to, and I'm so excited that they did. CyberKong's, of course, it's a family thing, but Henry's a yes to everything always, and I love him, It's awesome. I'm right there with you, brother. Title today, I forget the title, but it might be a little clickbaity. I'm pretty bullish too. I'll say that. It's a little clickbaity title. Dapper Labs and Luke, again, Luke is just the best. So I appreciate Luke like crazy, man. That guy's down for anything, and he's just such a great dude. Dr. MSH, same thing, always down for whatever. Mythical Games, we've had on the show before. We interviewed the CEO years ago on the Crypto Slam Clubhouse. It was great to have them back on. I feel like we've made like a newer, even connection now. I imagine we'll see more of them. Nature Racy's been on the show 3 times now. Awesome guy. Say, again, that was a different feel. I like Say a lot. I didn't feel like they were speaking to us, like our audience, our crew. But I like Say, and I like what they're building, and they're welcome back whenever. Tatum are partners, and I think they're great. Shiv is great. Same with Tradeport, partners and friends. Troon, especially. Paul Dubé, who came on, is down for anything. Always a great guy. VPay friends, too. I love Amir. And I think we got some good info from him. In fact, Cats, we got great alpha from Amir. Right? Amir saying that they're looking into... If I understood it right, like token equaling like some kind of equity, was that it? Was that the gist? I have to go listen back because when you do these things, I get in that flow state, and I hear the words and I'm just reacting. I'm just reacting with my words, and sometimes I'm not like I don't digest it. But it felt like some kind of equity in VPay is kind of where he was going, I think, and that was really interesting. Webacy, I loved. I've never met that founder before, if she's the founder, and she was great. Of course, X Factor with Zyber was awesome. Mike from Yahoo Finance, I think, was like, that was a special moment, I think. I think Mike is the head of, I think, business development with Yahoo Finance. Chatted with him after, said he's down to come back, which is awesome. So now we've got a relationship with Yahoo Finance, and especially next year when they launch their crypto hub, which we are helping to power, we're going to get him back on, which is great. And, of course, Jay Squiggle, Jared Paz, covering the art stuff. And Jared's a dear friend at this point, and I love that guy, and I'm so happy he made it on, right? It was just so great. And then getting the Crypto Slam crew behind the scenes were doing their thing, too. The show wouldn't have happened without them, to be honest. Helping with the scheduling and keeping stuff moving, and this would have been much harder without some of the help that I was getting from those guys. Parts of it harder because there's so many hands in it. This is new. Like, I have the experience doing this stuff now. A lot of the team developers, right? These are like technical people and are now learning for the first time what goes into putting on a show. And Henry knows this. Henry knows that, look, Henry and I do a show once a week together, and that one single show probably takes, I'll say, between the two of us, 6 or 7 hours of prep, 6, 7. It does. One show takes 6 or 7 hours of prep. It does. And these individual shows, like a Today Show, takes 3 to 5 hours. That's including show time, but 3 to 5 hours for a single show. This show right here, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to count the show time in it. So the 12 hours. This show right here, I've put in over 80 hours already this week. This is starting on Saturday. I'm going to count Saturday, but just in the graphic of this graphic you're looking at, this is ridiculous. I don't have the skills or the chops, but I made that graphic. That graphic was probably 20 hours, right? And that's the kind of work that goes into a show that people don't, you wouldn't know if you don't do it. So I'm not a graphic designer. Me, it's all trial and error and a lot of wasted time, but I'm telling you, like 80 plus hours. And I added it up since Saturday. It's a lot that goes into it. So I'm not exhausted from that show yesterday. I'm exhausted from the work that went into the show. It was exhausting. I crashed after the show yesterday. I was in bed by 5 p.m. Best night of sleep I've had in a long time too, but went to sleep before 5, got up this morning at 4, ready to hit it. I feel great. I feel refreshed. And now I'm thinking about the next show. And by the way, there will be another show. Not 12 hours long, but I'm telling you next week, probably next Thursday, I will have another big show. And that big show may have guests, may not have guests, but next week's show is going to be reviewing 2025. And I'm going to pick my top moments from the year. We'll do some form of a top 10, but whatever. We might review the top 50 moments of the year and whittle it down to the top 10, but expect that to come next week, and I'll do it as good as I can. I want it to be polished, and I want to promote it properly, but another show. And then next year, I want to see this breakout thing become a series. Slam Nation Breakout January, Slam Nation Breakout February, each month covering the top things happening and bringing those people onto the show to talk about what it is they did that was so important and so impactful. So a lot more to come, and this feels like the very beginning of the next steps of the content here, and I can't wait for it. I can't wait. Feeling very, very motivated for this. All right, man, if you want to keep on top of this stuff, anything in my world, and of course the Crypto Slam world, but make sure you're following me at Hudah_idiot over on X. And I do want to bring you guys into this stuff, both community. I do want a community-focused show. That's kind of Friday, but I think we can take that up to the next level. But I want the builders here to join us. I do. I want the teams out there who are cooking up products to join us at Crypto Slam and join us through Slam Nation. I want you to join us in our Slack group, which is packed with dozens of builders. And I'm talking devs who put their heads together and share their insights and their knowledge to build and support each other. And man, I'll tell you, it works. It works the way you can shortcut things just by having somebody you can bounce your ideas off of. And we got so many skilled technical people. And then me, I want to show people what you're doing, and I'll show people what you're doing via the show. Slam Nation Builders, I want you on the show, and we will have a dedicated show that's for Slam Nation Builders to show off what you're doing. In Slam Nation, we'll get you tapped into our data. If you're building agents, if you're building dashboards, if you're building apps, if you're building DEXs, anything in the world of crypto and AI here, plug into our data at Crypto Slam. It's not NFT data. We have it. We have all of it. But we have everything on chain, and especially with what we have put in and what we built on Ethereum and Base, it's everything, but it's all of that in a very, very interesting way where we've categorized it. We have our own algorithms, yes, to track IQ of traders, to track traders' reputation, to track the size of their bags, to track how early they were in certain tokens. We have the Wayback Machine of the blockchain, where you can go back at any historical block and see who was holding what people were in, what tokens, what was the liquidity of the token at that time, what was the reputation of the holders at that time. I'm telling you, the Wayback Machine of the blockchain is what we have. Now use that to power your tools and your apps, and you got something that nobody else has. And I can't wait to give it to you. We'll give you free credits to tap into our API. Join us in Slam Nation. So send a DM to the Crypto Slam account or DM us right over here on Slam Nation X, the home of this show and the home of this content going forward. And we want to work with you. We really do. So reach out to us here. Okay. And we put out a little trailer. This is for you Swarm holders especially. We will reveal way more of this coming up very, very soon, but this is our first tease. And by the way, get a head start on what's coming. Go to ethoswarm.ai. You see it right here below. Waitlist is open. Let's play the trailer real quick for you. And in case anybody missed it, but again, for Swarm holders, You're going to love what's coming. Okay, we have Ethos Swarm coming. It's the evolution of Swarm. I believe the Swarm agent itself is not going away. My understanding, not going away, still is alive. Now, Copilot, which has Swarm utility, still there, still unlock premium features in Copilot, although it's free to use. Plug it into Deck Screener and you get all these crazy insights. Again, the reputation, the IQ, the flows. Powerful stuff, man. You can see linked wallets. You can see who's funded certain wallets. You can see who's moving in and out of tokens, but where they came from, where they originate from. It's spicy stuff. Again, imagine powering, alpha agents with that. And imagine powering a dashboard or something that's giving you signals based on that, plus the Wayback Machine kind of data. It's crazy stuff. But in this new thing that's coming out, your Swarm has a utility there. And at this point, I don't know. I don't think I can say other things, so I'll stop myself so I don't say things. But I will tell you, from what I've used of this, it's different than any AI product I've used before. And the way you access it, I think, is so cool. And I think, well, I'll just say I've never seen it before, and I love it. So stay tuned here. If you're a Swarm holder, keep holding on. More to come, more to be revealed. Can't wait. Can't wait. Oh, and special shout out to Yatsu. It was just crazy getting to chat with him for, I think we went almost 45 minutes, but just even that he would take the time to reply back means a lot. Like it does. He's Yatsu. It's just one of those guys you look up to. I look up to a ton. It was great to chat with him. And I hope I can get him back here one day. Hope I can get him back one day. And I feel like I could. We were going to ask Mark Cuban to come on. We didn't end up asking him, but we were thinking about it. I believe he said he would, but we just have to have the right show for him, And I feel like yesterday could have been it, but we still got that. All right, let's get to some market talk. Let's see what's going. Again, a reminder again, go to ethoswarm.ai, sign up. Okay, we heard Japan's going to be raising their interest rates. It has happened. Rates are now up to 0.75%. And there's a lot of thought out there that the impact we'll feel is right in the Bitcoin chart. Correlation we've seen over the past many years that when Japan raises interest rates, Bitcoin goes the other way. We'll see if that plays out. We'll see. Hang on. Should make a trading app like Birdeye, GMGN, Photon. Yeah. Would love it. We've always had Moonship this stance that we're building the infrastructure so people can come and build that using our data. Now, I like the idea that we build it. I like that idea. And I hope that we do start building more products. That said, we're finally doing that here with Ethos Swarm, taking our data, building the product. And I'm excited for that. Now, once we get that out there and live, I hope it's then we can move to the next product, which I do hope it's us building out the products. People tap into and build as well, but I would love to see us building more products because I think you lead by example that way, But we'll see. All right, Beanie, I like the take here. Nobody thinks Bitcoin can break 90K. Showing the chart doesn't look great. Yeah, lower highs, lower lows. Yes, all that true. And I'm learning more and more, and I think we've known this for a while. Whatever's consensus out there, you may want to go the opposite way because nobody believes in a Santa rally anymore. Makes me really believe the Santa rally is coming. Remember, we have our official definition, right, of a Santa rally. It is the last 5 days of December, the first 2 days of January. Santa rally is still on, and it is still possible. And I'll tell you this, I think I'm believing it more and more for that reason alone, because nobody else does. Maybe just being contrarian, but I'll take that bet. I think we're going to have a nice end of the year here. Okay. Looking at crypto prices right now. Let's give a refresh. Hey, we have Bitcoin back over 88, just barely down in the past 24 hours, just 0.5%. ETH at 2,900, BNB 845, Ripple 187, and Solana 125. Yeah, not great. Not a great 24 hours here. And of course, if you look at the week, down as much as Solana 10% there. Wow, ETH down 8.8%, Bitcoin down 4.7%. We're on track to end the year down. We're on track to honestly see one of the worst performing years for Bitcoin ever. And it's because of how high and how hot this year started out. We'll see. We have some time left, and we know this market can move violently. Violently. We'll see. Oh, special shout out to Nate Geraci, who is just, to me, the GOAT. Just the GOAT. And honor to call Nate a friend. He's been so great. So we'll get Nate back on here too. And especially, I look at ETFs and I instantly start thinking Nate. He's just a legend. And just so great to have him on the show. All right, starting with the Bitcoin ETFs, how'd we do yesterday? Not so great. 181 million outflows. Over on the ETH side, I'm expecting very, very similar big outflows. And yeah, 96 million outflows there. Solana typically goes the other way. Is that what we see yesterday? Let's check it out. Yep. Yeah, it's just interesting how that works, right? That's all it is. But 13.2 million inflows yesterday. That's the Solana ETFs. There we go. We've got a SUI ETF coming very, very soon, okay? Bitwise filed for that ETF coming very soon. We've got the Hyperliquid ETF coming very, very soon. If it's not live already, actually. If not, is that true, Mice? People serving in the military getting a $1776 stimmy. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Hang on, Hoods. This is where I need help with is how to get help. You need help with how to get help. I'm a day one slacker, but I don't know how to ask for help. I put in a lot of hours into these few apps that use Slam API to enhance the products and services. Oh, so Hoods, literally put whatever you need right in that Slack. I believe you're in there. Literally ask the questions, anything. You can put anything in there. Just ask away. Ask away. I guarantee somebody will reply. Guarantee. CPI data yesterday, very interesting data. Very interesting data. Inflation going down. Pretty interesting. Core CPI year over year, 2.6% versus 3. That's pretty interesting. I'll tell you this, I don't believe the numbers. I don't know if I should believe the numbers. I don't believe anything at this point. A warrior dividend. Interesting. Interesting. Trump said we're getting a military stimmy, but there's many details to work out. Not holding the breath. Claims that we're going to get massive tax returns, saying next year we'll see the most money back we've ever seen. He said anywhere from like 11,000 to 20,000 per family. We'll see. It's a lot of words from Trump. And I'm at the point where I don't buy it until I see it. I don't buy it till I see it. You know, it's a bummer, but yeah, CPI print missing nearly all the underlying data. I read that. I heard this. Yeah, that it's pretty inaccurate. Seeing other people reporting different numbers, I need to find a better source, I guess. But here's CPI year over year 2.7 versus 3.1, and then core 2.6. It's not different numbers. It's core versus year over year. Anyway, I don't know. That said, it's possibly very, very bullish news. CNN talking about it yesterday, saying that core inflation is the lowest we've seen since COVID. I think we'll take it. It's a better number than anyone was expecting. Positive news. There's no other way to spin it. Now, saying Trump fixed the economy in 11 months, this is what worries me, is that he does say things like that. The best the economy's looked ever. And real people feel a completely different, world. It's brutal out there, and it still is. And nobody has money, and nobody feels like things are improving. In fact, if this is the best we've ever had, what happens when this ends? How bad does it get? And that worries me. That worries me. Stagflation, yeah. I don't believe these words. I don't believe tariffs are deflationary, AI is deflationary, deportation's deflationary. I get what he's saying. And I think it's maybe horseshit. Everything you were told about the economy over the last few months is wrong. Somebody's right here and somebody's wrong. And I'll tell you this, I don't trust the Trump side that they're right because I don't feel it. I don't feel it in my bank account. I don't feel it when I look at grocery prices. I don't feel it when I talk to other people, neighbors, friends, whatever. I don't feel it. It doesn't feel like reality. And we'll see. Okay. We have another name in the race to be the next Fed chair. I'm going to flip over to Polymarket real quick and let's check. But Rick Ryder will be interviewed at Mar-a-Lago. That's coming up next week after. But let's check where he's at. Who will Trump nominate? Rick Ryder, I imagine, is shooting up. Yeah, up to 5% now. Kevin Hassett taking a much bigger lead now, 56%. We'll see. We'll find this out probably very, very soon. I believe even this year we'll hear. Possibly, probably, I don't know. But just know that's coming soon, and we're believing they're going to crime this market. I don't know. Oh, the Epstein files today. I forgot about that. Today is the day the Epstein files are supposed to get released. Yep. Do we expect a distraction? Interesting. Mice, I do expect more stimmy checks for regular folks next year. Hope so. Again, the more we talk about that, by the way, good morning, Luna. The more we talk about that, the more I'm convinced it is we have UBI. Stimmies are UBI. The amount 3 stimmies in 6 years sounds a lot like UBI to me. So yeah. We'll see. Clarity Act, we know, is not going to make it this month. We were told it was a slam dunk Clarity Act coming. It's going to get passed. It has the support it needs. And then all of a sudden it doesn't. We had Democrats break. Democrats not on board, not until they get seats at the SEC and at the CFTC. Right? Still, David Sachs, crypto czar, said closer than ever to the market structure bill passing. Again, that's the Clarity Act. And so markup for that bill is coming in January. Now, that markup was supposed to be done in December, and voting was supposed to happen December. Kick the can down the road to January. And we have another government shutdown looming. So we better get it in before that. Otherwise, to me, almost one of those worst case scenarios is it doesn't happen. I think it's coming. I don't think Coinbase would be announcing a base token if it weren't happening. I don't think Coinbase would do what they did this week if it weren't coming. Which, by the way, Coinbase with a lot of things we're not going to cover today because I think a lot of it doesn't matter a ton for us right now. Although Base App pretty cool. But stock trading in-app, prediction market in-app powered by Kalshi. We will touch on that, I guess, briefly. We do a new CFTC chair. Michael Selig, very pro crypto, very pro Bitcoin, very good. It's a Republican. Good for us. Good for us. And still a lot of people think we've got a very, very interesting year ahead of us. And I'm that guy too. I speak specifically about Bitcoin. I don't know with ETH. I don't know with Solana. I don't know about any of these things except for Bitcoin. I believe Bitcoin has a potentially monster year, but I'm still betting we see Bitcoin all-time high next year. I'll bet that. I'll make that bet. If that means I should buy some Bitcoin because I like to do money where my mouth is, I would not mind buying Bitcoin right here. I wouldn't. Still, we need to find out 1010 and what happened and who is impacted by it. And we still think Wintermute. We still believe that. We'll see. But it is becoming clear that at least for this year, and we could even say this cycle, even though I believe it's not done, and you can call me crazy. I don't call you crazy for calling it over. I think that's the obvious take. I think that's the easiest take. I think that's the easiest take, saying cycle over. Top is in. It's not crazy to say that. It's a very safe take. I believe it's different. I believe next year is going to be different. And like I say a lot, no matter what, next year will be different. If it's a bear market, that'll be really different. The fact that we're going to get rate cuts. multiple rate cuts in a bear market doesn't exist yet. Next year it will. It'll be very different. Or we see Bitcoin all-time high next year, and that also makes it different. No matter what, we can all agree Trump coin was the top. Absolutely brutal. Absolutely killed this space. Although I still think you could argue it was tariffs. It wasn't the Trump coin. You could maybe argue it was Melania, but oh shit, hang on. We paused when Luna's got some alpha. Luna's a phenomenal trader, so when Luna's got something, we stop. Luna found something just as big as lighter. Hit us, man. You tell us what you got. Do not fade Luna. Okay, Trump coin mass extraction event. I mean, you remember your bags when Trump coin came out. You remember every meme coin you were holding, everybody exiting. That was a crazy, crazy moment. We did not recover from that. But that said, it was this, followed by Melania, followed by Libra, followed by tariffs. NATO. I've heard of it. I don't know what it is. But it's tariffs. To me, it's tariffs. But yes, CBB, in hindsight, the U.S. president shilling crypto to max extract will be seen as such an obvious perma-top signal. He's probably right. But he's lost faith in the scam industry. It's so easy. It's so easy to call things when we're at like the extreme ends, right? Like when we're down like we are now, it's so easy to say, that's it, game over, end of cycle, whatever. That's a safe, easy take. And it's a fair take. But not me. I'll go the other way. Well, there's some real Luna alpha. I hope you guys at this point have learned Luna's pretty dialed in. So NATO or NATO, I would keep an eye on it and start exploring it. And actually, let me jot a note to do the exact same. NATO. All right, good shit. Appreciate you, Luna. Can't have presidents launching meme coins. And maybe you can. Maybe you shouldn't. I don't know. I lean towards probably you shouldn't. Yeah, you probably shouldn't. Dude, I saw a chart of Nancy Pelosi. This is nothing new, but hang on. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Oh, by the way, just popped into my head. Did anybody notice I faded in the last hour of yesterday's show? Did anybody catch that? Like completely lost it. Like energy and like did anybody see it on my face? Like last hour was a little different. Trump should be doing buybacks every week on Trump coin. Well, he's got his new game coming out. Cat's noticed. My brother messaged me. He noticed. Okay, I got to tell you what happened. Something very specific happened. I did not mean for that. I actually didn't lose energy. Okay. Henry was without Henry. He saved my ass. I would have been able to power through. Okay. Twice during the show, like I'm popping zins during the show. Twice I did it, and I pop in a zin, and then like 30 minutes later, I realized I had 2 in. I forgot I already had 1 in, so I'm double zinning up, right? Okay. The last hour, all the nicotine caught up and hit me, and I got like Nick sick in that last hour. I was sweating. I was trying to fight off puking in that last hour. It hit me during that last hour how sick I was. And so especially like the chat started off fine. And then I don't know, 10, 15 minutes in, it hit me and I was like ill. That was a struggle that last hour. It sucks. It's a good reminder I shouldn't do that at all during the show. Like I should actually lay him out and pace myself, but I was just going zin after zin after zin after zin. And that last hour I was ill. So thank God for Henry. It was a little more fuddy that last hour too than I intended, but I couldn't bring it back. I was barely made it. That's funny. That's funny, guys. I was ill. Actually, hang on. I'm gonna go flip to it real quick. I didn't go back and look at it. I didn't see what it looked like, but hang on. I'm sorry. That was just incredible.
Yes.
Because I think like you try and build something to gain users,
That's sort of what we were known for, the degen tech side of
I was
things.
ill,
We have
dude.
the ERC 721X Guardian contract. It's two-factor authentication.
Thank you. You're every
platforms, actually, but just get it out.
Oh boy, I was fighting it, dude. I was not feeling good. Again, good reminder, don't do that shit live. Like that's like a rookie mistake. Whew. Yeah, dude. I was like sweating. I was just barely hanging on, dude. Man, that wasn't good. That was not good. It's funny people notice too. Oh, Luna, you were watching. That's cool, man. That's cool. I'm always pale, but I think I was exceptionally pale during that part. I felt it. Oh man, did not feel good. Yeah. Oh boy, that was dumb. And it was like when I crashed after was part because I didn't feel good, but I crashed right after. Luna, you're fucking awesome, man. I appreciate you so much. I was so locked in though, dude. That 12 hours went so fast. There's parts where it was like, all right, you still got 8 hours. All right, you still got 4 hours, whatever. But yeah, that last hour was a struggle. More talk about the Trump coin, whatever. We'll move on from that. But yeah, clearly the Trump coin was like a thing. That was a bit of a problem, you could say. Okay, now like all these problems, and we've talked about this a bit. It's these tokens and projects getting acquired and leaving their coins behind. Look, Rainbow Wallet. I think Rainbow.me is the Rainbow Wallet, right? Yeah. They've come up with something that's really, really interesting. Maybe the solution we're looking for. It's a solution we get to test and see if it actually works. But what you have here is a foundation. I believe this is what it is. It's a foundation that's set up that if, let's say, something like Rainbow is acquired, the foundation gets a payout. And that payout then goes to the token holders. So it's a way that no matter what, you're acquired, that means part of the payment, part of the money, the exchange of money, some of it's allocated to token. So you're not acquiring the token, but you're paying the foundation to own, the platform or the product or the company. Interesting. This is what we need. Now, I argue better to just own equity in the thing by token equaling ownership, but like, that's pretty interesting. We need more ideas like that. Like I said this earlier this week, something's broken, right? The way tokens are linked to platforms, it's broken because they can all of a sudden be unlinked. When something is broken, but we know people want it, it means there's a solution out there for it. And somebody's got to find and build that solution. Here's Rainbow doing it. So I like that. I hope we see more of it. Maybe we need to see it work first, but others are looking. Home, yeah. We all saw you dying live. That's awesome, dude. Awesome. Little prediction, just some prediction market headlines. Kalshi filed a notice to the CFTC on Wednesday. It intends to offer trading on the transfer portal. This is what, like college athletes who are transferring to other schools and they want to open up markets on it. The NCAA saying it opposes it because you can, man, you better believe people can gamify that. All kinds of insider trading around that, I'm sure, but it is what it is. Coinbase getting into prediction markets. We know this already. That was announced at the Coinbase event on Wednesday. Robinhood, and this is their CEO saying prediction markets are in the early stages of a super cycle. I like it. Very good. And CNBC saying prediction markets could hit $1 trillion in trading volume by the end of this decade. And that's what people believe. That is a multi-trillion-dollar industry. I'm there. I believe it. Makes sense. I don't know why we wouldn't see it that way. Interesting. What's that? What's the BA or BAH? What is that? Warrior dividend is badass. That's very cool. That's so cool. All right, let me see, Luna, your tag. Oh, I see. I see. Okay. Here's from Luna what he was talking about just before. Dropping NATO on Ink on Chain. Interesting. The Clob decks from the team that brought you Kraken deployed on Ink. Welcome to the perfect storm. Private alpha starts now. Here, let me bookmark that. I think we should dive in. Okay, interesting. From the team that brought you Kraken. That's enough for me. It's enough for me to say, yeah, we should pay attention. Very cool. Oh, part of your basic allowance for housing, part of your tax-free pay. That's really fucking cool. That's real cool. Well, GG's to you guys getting that warrior dividend. That's awesome. Good for you. Over the past 2 years, prediction markets have ballooned 130 times in size. Yeah. I'm not going to look at volume numbers, whatever. I imagine we're probably damn near all-time highs, if not breaking them already. Gemini prediction markets live. That doesn't feel like it's new news, but there it is. And Kalshi's officially launched their mindshare markets. This is with Cato, which is very, very interesting. Predict which exchange will have the highest mindshare each week. That's cool. That's cool. Coinbase is suing. This is prediction market related, but Coinbase suing Michigan, Illinois, and Connecticut over their attempt to regulate prediction markets, arguing the states lack jurisdiction. Love that. Love Coinbase. I love Coinbase going to war for us. They are. Love Coinbase. Love them. All right, this is random as hell, but I love just seeing a thing that you've seen before, but it clicks a different way. This is a robot solving a Rubik's Cube.
Solve.
Rubik's Cube solved in 0.1 seconds. It's that simple. That simple. Okay. There, you're kind of like the story, the narrative, a little preview of what AGI means. I don't know AGI, whatever. I don't know, but what I do think of that is, what does it look like when we automate things? Solving a Rubik's Cube by hand. You got these super crazy people that can like solve a Rubik's Cube in seconds, right? That happens, but normal person going to take minutes or hours. Robots are going to do these things in a fraction of the time. When we start talking about how productivity is going to change, we're going to get more productive with everything we do. Thank you, AI. Thank you, robots. You look at something like that and you're like, yeah, how could it not get like that? Now we're a while off. We're a decade off. We might be further, but man, it's coming, and the change is going to be like that. It's crazy. All right, let's get through some AI stuff here. Of course, Cookie, still inaccurate here. Market cap showing over $1 trillion. It's just like, I don't know what's up with this platform. I don't get Cookie. It's just always inaccurate. It took how many months for them to even blow away that USDC it was counting? That was weird. But whatever. As working for a data aggregator, data company, I get where there can be things that reflect wrong. I get how that happens, but to not correct it for so long is weird. Anyway, Fartcoin's your top AI agent token, 279 mil market cap. It's followed by Tibber, Alk, Toshi, and Turbo. On the infrastructure side, we've got Fartcoin. Oh, let's sort that. Fartcoin, Tibber, Alk. Jesus Christ, I just did that. Okay, sorry. Infrastructure. It's FET Virtual, DCAI, Pippin back down to 350 mil. And then what is that? MWXT. It's a new token. And I'm not familiar. And then in DeFi, it's Venice, Cortex, Anon, Olas, and AI Tech. And Anon is pumping. I'm assuming, like somebody mentioned here, they're launching a prediction market. That's cool. I've always wanted to be able to solve a Rubik's Cube. I don't know how, but that'd be cool. Luna, I think I'm down, dude. I gotta get some action out there somehow, some way. Mindshares, Pippin on top, Fartcoin, Warp, Elsa AI, and TheoryQ. There we go. Over on virtuals, again, nothing on the board that has me excited at all. Not at all. Not at all. And our new launches, how are they looking? Pilot relaunched. I don't know why they relaunched, but they did. I'm sure everybody got spammed with DMs telling us about their relaunch. Not great. 200K FDV. Might be early, I don't know, but yeah, I don't know why they did it. I don't know anybody who is caring, but I could be wrong. Maybe it matters. Anybody else worth paying attention to now? Slash at 400K. Real at 2 mil still, which is nice. Real did better than I thought it was going to do. Real did pretty decent. All I'm curious about from the past still, month or so is repo and reply. That's kind of it. Dealer note at 436K, not bad. Bitcoin on virtual is actually doing better than I thought, 650K. But it's repo at 19 mil. I think that just deserves the attention, and reply core at 3 mil. That's your two best launches of the past, month plus. On the board now. Again, I think we have something new here. Neox. Neox launches today. Actually, Neox is launching in 3 minutes. This one's going to do really well. Neox is going to do very well. Cats, it's a different token. Yeah, Neox is going to do very well. So, I got a DM from Pilot saying it's just relaunching. Not that it's a new token, but it's a relaunch. So I assume that means this new token airdropped to their current holders, right? Hang on, let me find the DM. By the way, how cool was having probably something on the show? We had somebody, if you didn't catch, guys, we had one of the virtuals team members on the show yesterday, which is a very rare treat. Okay. So yeah, I got a DM from Pilot saying, GM, hope the message finds you well. The Pilot 3 relaunch on virtuals is set for tomorrow. Would appreciate support in this key phase. So they called it a relaunch as opposed to, just brand new token, but also it's just words. I don't know. So we can check tokenomics and see if there's airdrop going to previous holders, but bull case for virtual. Let's see. It's like your it's just your bet on the broader ecosystem. When we were talking to probably something, and I said something to him, and I think he liked it, where I said, it's like you're known as the AI agent launchpad, and I wish you weren't because you're really like ICM. It's everything. And he's like, no, I like that a lot. He's like, yeah, you're right. I wish they'd work on that messaging. It was a really good chat with him, by the way. I think it was one of my favorite parts. In fact, I'm going to clip that and get it tweeted out. But I thought that was a good talk. And you heard me sneak in at the end. Hey, just so you know, the community wants to hear from you guys more. We want to see you on the shows more, even 10 minutes. We don't want a ton. We don't need a ton. We want as much as you'll give, but go on the Big Will show. Come on my show. This community's been, he didn't know I've interviewed 50 virtuals projects. He had no idea. So I hope they're starting to realize that, and I hope they'll start supporting the shows that are supporting them. I wouldn't count on it. AI DJ, I think, is newer on the board. I'm just going to peek if there's anything noteworthy here team-wise. First, fully autonomous AI DJ, open format, blah, 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 blah. Oh, yeah, whatever. Let's see. Anybody we know? Not really. And not really. Yeah, I don't know. That's the kind of stuff I skip. If we don't know anything about them and who they are and what it's, I think I pass. I did see that, man. Yeah. Elon retweeted and tagged, the basically the meme coin, right? Elon replied to Russell on base. Yep. Oh, good shit. What did it get to? How high did that one get? It's been a minute since we had Elon, tweet basically a ticker. It's kind of cool. All right, quickly. Let's hit NFTs real quick. See what we're looking at. Just over 10 million volume yesterday. Cross-chain sales. Sellers were up. Buyers were up. Transactions up. Average sale price down by just a few cents. And then trade profits 2.4 mil in the negative. Wow. Oh, good stuff, man. 18 mil. Got to 18 mil. Good shit. Good. Oh, Cats, are you talking about Pilot? That Pilot one, their TG hacked? Jay Wise, really? I thought Elon used to tweet tickers and reply to memes. Oh, I'm sorry. This is about Neox. Drama unfolding right now. Oh, wow. TG hacked, fake CA sent out. Wow, not good. That's not good. Okay, so we got some Neox drama right now. Their launch is literally like live now. And all of a sudden their Discord is tweeting out a fake CA. That's not good. Okay, that means maybe watch for an opportunity with a FUD. You know what I mean? Like maybe it keeps people from buying. Maybe it's got people confused. Maybe there's an interesting entry here. So this is live now, guys. This is a play. This one's going to be pretty hot. I think Neox is, what was the range we were doing? Like 4 to 6 mil FDV. I could see this actually. I could see this actually more like anywhere from 5 to 10. It's a big old range, but just, I put it like this. This won't be under 100K. This is not a nothing burger. This is much more than that. This will probably be one of our biggest unicorn launches. I think it's bigger than Reply. I was comparing it to something like Mute or VPay or something in that vein. I think we're looking at like a 5 to 7 to 10 mil FDV. 10 would be out there. I don't know if the market's going to give us those yet, but this could do that. Neox is legit. Neox is legit. Oh, J-Wise, you don't have to do that, man. I appreciate you a ton, though, sir. I should just buy. Like, I just should get some skin in the game. You know what I mean? This is cool. It's a Solana. At the base event. At the base event. I think this is so cool. Aaron, I'll end on that, and we're gonna end in just a minute here, but I'll talk ordinals. Here's Jesse with Tully. So Solana founder, base founder, hugging it out, building bridges in person. That's I love it. I love the PvE thing. That'd be badass. That'd be badass. Now, here's what's really interesting too. Brian Armstrong. That's not Brian Armstrong. Damn it. Is it? No, that is Brian Armstrong. Okay. Put out a post saying, should Base App focus on being a self-custodial version of Coinbase, trading and financial services oriented, or lean into content creator coins and social? Key question I heard from people coming out of the product event yesterday. Action produces information, and this team is shipping like crazy. I love what we're building and letting the market guide us. What do you think? Nobody likes the creator coins. Nobody likes it. I like creator coins. I don't like content coins. If you want to tokenize your content, make it an NFT. I think that's awesome. A meme coin associated with every piece of content, I think does nothing. I actually think it's a negative for that whole idea of tokenize everything. Not enough fees go to the person making the content. The person buying in to support, to collect their money, you lose money on it every single time. You do not make money doing that. So the person making money is the creator, but it's a fraction of what it would be if you just launched an NFT and sold it at whatever price you wanted. I'm sorry, but NFTs is the way you tokenize content. The way they're doing it doesn't make sense. All right. Thank you, Cats. Here's the fake Neox. While the real one's live now. Let's see. Let's see how we look. I hope nobody gets wrecked here, but you know. You know, some people will. Yeah, look at that. Funny. There's our fake Neox. And again, this data you're looking at, not populating yet, but this is Copilot data. Yeah, here we go. Here's Copilot data. You see who's in early. You see who actually started it. In the epoch section, you see how big their bags are. You see what direction you're seeing more of buys versus sells. We don't have intelligence data yet because nobody's selling. So, yeah, gross. Anyway, I'd love to see them shift away from the content stuff. Do it as NFTs. Makes way, way, way more sense. Smart. We're talking Zora here. Smart move though. An activated creator coin, and it branches off to all the posts. Yeah, I think I just think it should be the one top level coin. And owning any piece of the content is, you buy the creator coin. Just like a token for every single post is just. I like, look, tokenize everything. I'm on board with that, but tokenize everything as a one bill supply token doesn't make sense. I just don't think it works. What else we got? The New York Stock Exchange owner in talks to invest in crypto firm MoonPay. Got it. I dig it. And our last thing, the lawsuit against Pump Fund and Solana feels dumb and frivolous. They're twisting standard MEV mechanics and neutral infrastructure to appear as a secret inside lane. Right? And that's what we heard. It was like the MEV stuff that was like, you were told it's this coordinated insider planned and schemed thing to get the insiders rich. Maybe it is, or maybe it's working as designed and people don't understand it. And I'll tell you this, from like insight into what happened to the Kongs behind the scenes and how the SEC, the way they attacked him and saying, hey, you guys made this much money doing this and this and this, and you're holding this much ETH. And my brother would be like, no. That's gas fees you're looking at. That's not us. That's not us transacting. That's not us people buying art. That's gas fees you're looking at. They're like, oh, okay, we didn't know. Okay, so well, then this is what you're doing. This is illegal. And he's like, oh, no. That's another product entirely. That's not even cybercongs, right? Like some of the people who are doing some of this stuff, lawsuits, SEC investigate, they don't understand the text. They don't know what they're doing. They look at it, they interpret it one way. It is something else entirely. It could be what's happening here. It could be. I just don't know. And then finally, this is pretty wild. Here's a chart showing Nancy Pelosi and her stock gains. How well she's... I'm going to kill that audio, but how well she's performed comparing her against the S&P 500 and Warren Buffett. And yes, they should probably make stock trading illegal for politicians. This is absolutely fucking crazy. Here we go. There's not a better trader on earth than Nancy Pelosi. Starting from 2012, there is no better trader on this planet than Nancy Pelosi. Come on. Absolutely ridiculous. She should be in jail. I'm sure for so many reasons, but it's about as dirty as it gets and as obvious as it gets. And no, she's just not a great trader. She's not. There's no way. Crazy. That could be that could be true. All right, fam, hit the like on the show before you get out of here. Remember to subscribe to Crypto Slam on YouTube to catch all this awesome content we have coming. Remember, I go live on the weekend too. I do that on my personal channels. You know where to find it. You can follow me at Hudah_idiot. But yeah, I'll be back live tomorrow morning, usually earlier, starting about 8:15 a.m. Eastern time. We often go 3 hours or 4 or 5. We'll see this week. We'll see. It's not a ton going on. I don't know if we have a ton to talk about. Well, we're definitely hanging and talking. We'll be talking aliens, UFOs, that kind of stuff too. We got plenty, but we got a lot. Follow us at CryptoSlam.io. Definitely follow there. Follow us at Slam Nation X on X. Of course, come join Personal channel is, I'll throw it up. Why not? I can show myself, right? Inside NFTs. This is where I got my start before I started doing content over here. This is my journey began here, just on my own channel, Inside NFTs. So yeah, we go 7 days a week between the Crypto Slam channel and mine every day. But yeah, Saturday, Sunday over on this spot. It's different. It's a little more fun. It's this is casual enough here, but it's way more casual. There's no rules there, and go off the rails sometimes too. Be pretty sweet. In fact, when I had Paulie on the show, it was over on this channel, right? So we do a little different stuff over there. So anyway, guys, again, I'll just end by saying I appreciate you guys like so much. Yesterday's special day. I just appreciate you guys supporting like you did. So thank you. Expect more of that. Expect more big shows. Lots more to come. And that show next week should be pretty awesome. The year in review, ranking our top favorite things that happened, biggest moments, good stuff. Oh, I forgot the ordinals thing. What was the ordinals question again? Hang on. Let me find it. Do you think it comes the time for ordinals? Yes. Yeah, I believe it. I really believe it. Because here, I still believe NFTs. This is why I wish I got to talk to Yat a little more yesterday about NFTs. We're nowhere close to NFTs having their time in the spotlight again. Nowhere close. I still think 5 years off. If the things play out like we're being told they will, and again, I trust words? It's hard to right now, but that AI either replaces jobs or AI makes us become so much more productive that we make more money. If there comes a time where we make more money than we ever have before, if that's from UBI or just our salaries are increased because our business places are more productive, then I know we're going to spend that money, because that's what we did during COVID. We got extra money. We spent our money. There's going to be a time when crypto becomes cool again. That pendulum will keep swinging. It's at the total opposite end. It's not cool. It's the opposite of that. It's totally cringe, but it'll swing back. Crypto will become cool again. NFTs will become cool again. At that point, hopefully we have a lot of money to go waste and speculate and gamble. And I think that's going to be a time when the metaverse is matured and actually is usable, and we want to be there. So my prediction is in 5-ish years. Maybe it's a decade, but I'm betting on 5-ish years that NFTs have a massive resurgence, that we see ridiculous price action. And at that point, I think Bitcoin's going to be $1 million a coin. And so I think we will see an ordinals collection that's either at 1 Bitcoin. And the only thing I've pivoted in is, if it's not 1 Bitcoin, it's in a massive dollar value. Maybe it's like $300,000. Like right now, right? 1 Bitcoin would be like $85,000, $88,000. Well, then in that version of it, where I'm going to say maybe it's not 1 Bitcoin, but it's the floor price for an ordinals collection is $250,000 or maybe $500,000, right? That's what I see happening. Ordinals going to get stupid at some point 5 years down the road. It might be more. My predictions are still the main ones. It's going to be Taproot Wizards or Quantum Cats, and I Quantum Cats are just tougher now. But I want to stick to the thesis: Taproot Wizards, Quantum Cats, Bitcoin Puppets, Node Monks, and OMB. Those are the ones that I can see. And I'll tell you, I think there's a chance. There's a chance it's the Sense Collection. There's a chance it's the Sense Collection. Because I think maybe Bitcoin could round this corner of not just pure collectibles, but it is the place for the best, for on-chain art. And I think Sense is one of the most interesting art collections, period. It has the narrative. It is on Bitcoin. It is a conversation about money. So I could put Sense in that conversation, but for now, no, it's those 5 I mentioned. But we'll see. But Sense is very special. I think it'll happen. I still believe it. One of those collections, maybe it's all of them, maybe it's not. But I think one of those collections, 1 Bitcoin floor or US dollar value, hundreds of thousands of dollars. I believe it. So anyway, guys, have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow if you're watching the other side. Otherwise, I'll see you Monday, 9 a.m. Eastern time. Fam, thank you again. We'll see you.